All right, everyone, welcome to another serving of convention tea. I'm your host, Dame Scarlett Aznavour, and I'm here to talk about Anime Pasadena 2023. Now, this is a local con that's very popular in Southern California. It's fairly affordable. It's about $35 if you pre-register, and it's a Saturday, Sunday convention. The convention is usually goes between 10 o'clock in the morning to about 6 o'clock in the evening. If you listen to our previous Anime Pasadena coverage, or even our Anime Las Vegas coverage, they're about like just kind of flow just about the same. So let's talk about what was different about 2023, and let's just talk about our experience on Anime Pasadena 2023. It's really important to note that this is their 5-year anniversary. I do appreciate the complimentary tote bags that they had for attendees. I don't have a photo of it, but it's essentially an anime version of the Pasadena City Hall. Beautiful building if you've ever been to downtown Pasadena to take a look at City Hall. And they also have like some roses just decorated around the tote bag. And for those of you who don't know, Pasadena, stay out of this, Portland, is pretty much Southern California's city of roses. We're best known for having the Rose Parade and Rose Bowl first of the year. And having grown up in Pasadena, I really love coming out and supporting this con, and it just kind of like just made my heart melt when I saw like, oh my god, you have roses as part of your motif on your 50th anniversary tote bag. I need this because Pasadena reasons, and just a little bit of thing about me. Like for the longest time when I was a kid, I had a leather jacket and it had the official like rose patch from. It was on my collar. It was like kind of like my lapel collar patch. It was a tiny rose, which was the logo of the Rose Parade. And that just kind of like to symbolize, like, yeah, I was born and raised in Pasadena. So yeah, without any further ado, let's talk more about Anime Pasadena 2023. And of course, I need to talk about Pasadena as if no one is quite familiar with Southern California towns. But first, let's talk about just a couple of our sponsors. Convention Tea is brought to you by Max Sweater. It is kind of getting cold out there. It is getting darker at 5 p.m. and it's time to cozy up. Max Sweaters is just one of my favorite go-to spots for cardigans, just cozy cold wear in general. And this is also a great place if you're looking for holiday gifts that's affordable to give to loved ones, friends, family. I've bought some things for like older people in my family, like grandmas and aunts. Just cozy, like long line cardigans. So, if you're looking for that gift or you just want to just treat yourself, you can just go to use my code YEMAC-DAMEAZABLE to get 40% off your entire order at yemacsweater.com. And just a little bit about us, Scarlet Rhapsody. If this is your first time tuning in to an episode of Convention Tea, we've been covering conventions since the early 2000s. I founded this operation at Anime Expo 2000 when it was at the Disneyland Hotel, and I decided, you know what? Let me make a website about my experience. Let me make a website about going to conventions, a review of Anime Expo. Let me share the photos I took of the dealer's hall, cosplayers, the vibes, and just talk about just my overall experience as a cosplayer, as a anime fan attending conventions. And I posted that report, and ever since then, I just been like just very enthusiastic to talk about conventions on my website. And from that website, we started to record episodes of Convention Tea. We started doing more cosplay photography, and we started attending more conventions from coast to coast. So we also have reviews of East Coast cons like Otakon, Anime Boston. I'm very excited to be returning to SakuraCon next year. So yeah, I'm very excited with how our site is going. Again, we've been around for 20 plus years, and we don't intend on stopping anytime soon. It's also the 1 year anniversary of my friend's passing, Kevin Lillard of Fansview, and I intend to continue on his work. For those of you who don't know, Kevin Lillard of Fansview was this amazing gentleman who took photos of the convention, who had all these thorough reports and if you're going through his convention reports, it was like as if you were there. And I am nowhere near the talent of Kevin Lillard. He was just such an amazing guy, but I just hope to continue on his legacy by providing convention coverage and providing an archive of 20 plus years of convention history. And speaking of history, let's talk about my book. I'm also working on a book called The Fangirl Diaries, and this is all about finding identity and community through the rise of the anime fandom at the turn of the millennium. So this is just talking about what was it like to be an anime fan, like in the days of trading fan subs, trading VHS tapes with complete strangers. What was it like just trying to piece an original cosplay together when you didn't really have a source like eBay, AliExpress, Doki Doki Cosplay? This was the Wild West of anime community fandom, and here's me just kind of writing about my personal experience on the West Coast on what that was like. And I really am hoping that all of you get a chance to read it. I'm in talks with publishers right now, so it's not a question of if, it's more of a question of like, yeah, when is this going to be published? All right, let's talk some Anime Pasadena. So, this is my second time attending Anime Pasadena. Anime Pasadena, they are in their fifth year, and they've been doing pretty well since they moved their date to early November. And this is my favorite fall convention, fall anime convention. And this is just a lot of fun. It draws in a lot of huge numbers here. So you can kind of see here, this is what Saturday morning looked like. So you park your car, you get out of the parking structure, you're about to go in line to head inside the convention. So there's already lines wrapping around Green Street or whatever that street is around Euclid, to just get into the convention. Some people, they went on day 0, Friday, to pick up their badge, or some people like, okay, we're going to go ahead and just get our badges today. And what was just some of the most endearing part of it was like parents just pulling up to like this intersection right here at the stop sign and just dropping off their kids. Like, yeah, I remember those days when my parents would drop me off to conventions. I'd step out the car in cosplay and just like rush, like, yay, I'm at Disneyland, but anime. So yeah, this is like Anime Pasadena. Like, as you just kind of just walk right in, just cross the street, and you're right there. So I decided to just live my best 90s era at Anime Pasadena. And you know what? I might be bringing this energy to 2024 because I am in my 90s era, people. I decided to cosplay as Masato Katsuragi. This wasn't like, okay, I guess I'll cosplay as Masato. A friend of mine who cosplays as Shinji in the plug suit, my buddy MVS Cosplay, it's like, hey, when are we gonna go as Masato and Shinji? I'm like, you know what? New job, I'm gonna treat myself. Doki Doki Cosplay, what you got for me? So I ended up, this is actually a dream cosplay that I've had since Anime Expo 2000 when it was in Disneyland. There was a story behind this, and I'll keep it short and sweet. When I went to Anime Expo 2000, I went like in a business casual kind of outfit, just so my parents were like, okay, I'm not going to be up to no good. I'm wearing a business casual outfit. It's like imitation Chanel. And I'm just going to like have fun at the convention, but also look a little bit serious because Asian parents, strict Asian parents, and I didn't think they were. I'm like, okay, anime convention, not sure what's going on. And then like at that anime convention, AAX 2000, I was like, was so impressed by like just seeing like all these costumes. I just really wanted to be a part of it. And back in that day, you could not go up to the dealer's hall booth and like, hey, I want that Nezuko cosplay or I want that Sailor Moon cosplay. No. Back in that day, you kind of had to figure that out on your own or hire a seamstress by the name of Satsunako. So what I did was on the next day I was going to Anime Expo, I was like, I have a red blazer. I have a little black dress. I'm gonna like ghetto bound as Misato. So like I ended up just closet cosplaying as Misato in like this little black dress and this red blazer I just happened to have for speech and debate. Somewhere online that photo's floating around. Maybe I'll do a like before and after and post on my Instagram. But it was a dream to finally do this version of Misato because this is my favorite iteration of Misato. I mean, I did cosplay as Misato from the Jet Alone episode when she's in that black, more formal looking uniform, and I made that from scratch, and that was fun. I got to cosplay with my friends who were Kaji and Shinji, and that was a lot of fun. Would love to do that again, actually. And then also, speaking of my 90s era, I went as Miyaka in her Suzaku no Miko outfit. This is a joy. This was a joy to make, and even though I'll get the occasional, "Are you from Genshin? Are you from Heaven's official blessing?" I'm like, I still love wearing this, and I love educating people about Fushigi Yugi because I think I converted a few members of Aquarius to go read Yuatase's classic melodrama about ancient Chinese hot boys and girls who have problems that really need better communication skills. For those of you who don't know, Yuatase came out as non-binary a couple years ago, and which explains a lot about Noriko and just kind of like why I like Noriko. And Noriko's my favorite character essentially in Fushigi Yugi as the series progressed. Like, yeah, like I thought like, yeah, I'm gonna stand Miyaka and Tamahome. But Noriko, yeah, I am a Noriko stan. Um if, for a lot of you who've seen Fushigi Yugi, Noriko's legacy within anime fandom still stands pretty strong with 90s babies, millennials, and so forth. And while Noriko, you can kind of like just go in like, okay, the character's a little bit of a hot mess. But if you kind of go in with the lens of this was someone who was writing Fushigi Yugi when they were questioning who they weren't quite out with their gender identity. Now you can kind of appreciate Noriko for who they are. And I just still feel that Noriko is definitely a queer icon of anime and definitely one that is very strongly is very close to like us millennials who are in the anime fandom. But yeah, that's my spiel. So yeah, I'm in my 90s era. Popular fandoms, this is my favorite part to talk about anytime I'm going to conventions. So the popular fandoms at Anime Pasadena, Chainsaw Man, a lot of folks coming in suit and tie in Chainsaw Man attire. Of course, because we had a huge One Piece revival thanks to the live action, and thanks to Anime Pasadena having a huge One Piece voice actor reunion, we also had a lot of One Piece cosplayers roaming around on the Pasadena Convention Center. And also, yeah, Genshin, they're popular, but I love this outfit from the Fontaine era of Genshin. I don't play Genshin, I haven't logged in a while because like I just kind of got burnt out by Genshin, but you know what? I love this character in Fontaine because, yeah, T-Swizzle vibes. All right. And another thing I also like to highlight because I am in my 90s era are flashback fandoms. So we have this gent from Digimon. This is my friend Dan Costing from Digimon. My our associate Jared the Greek. He actually had the Digimon drink. And it was delicious according to him. Like, what is this dinosaur juice? And then we also have Nadia from Nadia Secret of the Blue Water, one of my favorite Gainax animes. Fun fact, Hideki Anno, who worked on Nadia Secret of the Blue Water, says that, like, yeah, my inspiration for creating Shinji was taking Nadia and making Nadia a dude. And of course, we got Lupin the Third. I'm just so happy anytime I see Lupin the Third cosplayers. I normally see the green jacket iteration of Lupin the Third, but like, oh my god, someone is actually wearing the red jacket and the pink tie. Oh my god, I love it. And Michelle Ruff was also a voice actor guest at Anime Pasadena. I was very tempted bringing in my Fujiko figure and having her sign the base of my Fujiko figure and maybe like just sneaking in my Fujiko cosplay. Like, I really don't like playing counting game. And if you've seen me cosplaying as Fujiko Mine, yeah, let's just say I get confused for a certain wannabe Asian. Yeah, Scarlett Johansson, you're so not Asian. You're like, yeah. So this is pretty much like the front building of Anime Pasadena as you just walk into the building. I like the Pasadena Convention Center. I like how Anime Pasadena utilizes the space of it. I feel like one of my constructive critiques of Anime Pasadena, I feel like they could expand more on panel programming because even though I am a panelist at Anime Pasadena, sometimes it just feels very copy and paste of Anime Las Vegas, Anime Pasadena previous year. But I think it's also would be really cool to also see a variety of more panels. I do like the space being used for both Artist Alley and the main vendor hall. They just kind of like to sort of like combine to me. And then there's also space where you have autographs, and there's also a lot of the outdoor space, like in front of the Pasadena Civic Auditorium, where you can take a lot of photos. There's parties going on. You got Okamoto Kitchen there, and also you have Dragon Hall Z, which hosts a lot of the live performances, the live shows, the cosplay contests. My associate, John Jacob from Kids Can Cosplay, kept calling it Dragon Hall H because of San Diego Comic Con. But if you say Dragon Hall H or Dragon Ball H, it means something different. We had to explain this to him that, like, you can't quite say Dragon Hall H at an anime con. And, like, I had to explain it to him as discreet as possible because we were running the Kids Can Cosplay booth. So we kind of had to keep discreet about explaining what the letter H is to my buddy John J. Anime Pasadena, brought to you by the letter H. And just a couple like just anime Pasadena shenanigans here. So I just had a lot of fun cosplaying as Masato. Me and my buddy MVS Cosplay, we just kind of like just took selfies. I just brought my tripod so we can just kind of just take cosplay selfies because I didn't really know like a lot of photographers attending who were like requesting photo shoots. And of course this was my vendor badge because I was helping out Kids Can Cosplay, and I was also a panelist for Anime Pasadena, and I was also a judge for the kids cosplay contest. A friend of mine who was vending at the event. I stopped by their booth because they have a lot of Final Fantasy 14 merch. I ended up just like, hey, what's up? I have a couple of your stickers on my laptop. I have your Fatter Cat sticker on my laptop. And they just gave me the whole Final Fantasy 14 spiel, and I just had to stick that on my badge to show my 14 pride. I'm not quite at Baldur's Gate 3 just yet because I need to upgrade my PC, but I'm still in 14 hell, and that's okay. And just some other vibes of Anime Pasadena. Of course, you had a lot of people coming out in Dragon Ball cosplay. Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie had recently come out, and you can also see Pitbull in the background. This is a gentleman who always cosplays as Pitbull, like at like most popular conventions, most pop culture conventions in the LA area. Just shows up as Pitbull. He has like his Mr. 714, Mr. 305 thing going down. So yeah, and of course you had the lovable Post Cheetah. Also, I did like mostly roam around the dealer's hall like on Saturday because I didn't really have a lot of time on Sunday because that's like my big like work day. And like one booth called I believe it's like the LA Gundam guys or something. It's like, yeah, cast your vote for best Gundam. So yeah, like in the comments drop what you think is the best Gundam. Also, they had like normally I would show model kits, but I was also just quite amused that they had Initial D model kits and car model kits. So like, yeah, cool seeing other stuff here. If you're curious about what I voted for best Gundam, I picked Universal Century. I know, Universal Century has a special place in my heart. I was very close to like, I could put Wing for nostalgia. But yeah, X needs more love, and I still need to finish Turn A Gundam because I've heard nothing but good things about Turn A Gundam. Of course, you had this dude running around. He was also running around at Anime Impulse, and he was like, "Yeah, like rank your waifu here." He also did something on like best husbando or like best boy or something, and I was also participating in that ranking. But yeah, I always like seeing this guy at cons because I just like to see all like the salt coming in from various folks. Like, no, why is my waifu like on C tier? She should be S tier. Like, no, she does not belong on S tier. She belongs way in the F. Like, yeah, like why is Nezuko in F? And my buddy MBS and I decided to just kind of check out the arcade. I was happy that it was like a free-to-play arcade and they had Para Paradise. I'm like, I'm very tempted to play, but my Masato cosplay was like, yeah, it's kind of hard to move around when you're like in that all pleather stuff. And then Miyaka, also kind of hard to move around when you have a lot of sleeves. But yeah, so we just kind of like just wandered around the dealer's hall. You can see they have the Jurassic Park game here. They had DDR Max 2 here. They had DDR 5 here. So it was a really good selection of games that they had in the arcade. And I think this is the first time they had an arcade because I surely don't remember this last year. They had a wrestling ring last year, but I'm actually happy that they got an arcade here. Like I said, if my costumes were more mobile, like hell yeah, Paradise 2. Of course, this is like the main stage, like in Dragon Hall Dragon Hall Z, where people were performing either if you had an idol group, if you had a dance group, this is where you were performing. So as they were performing, you had like this screen that was like showing random anime clips, which is pretty cool. And in between sets, the DJ would play like top 40 music, which was kind of strange in a way because I was kind of expecting like, okay, just play anime music, play anime flashback music. Maybe Yoko Ishida's Para Max CDs where there's like Eurobeat covers of anime music, but I don't know, it just kind of always just strikes me as odd. I don't know, just the vibe just kind of like just changes when you start hearing top 40 music at an anime convention, just right after you're hearing like a kai guy idol group or like an idol group like performing something on stage, like yeah, like idols, like believe in your dreams, it's fun to study and stuff. And then like, yeah, Mr. Worldwide, suit and tie, suit and tie. I don't know, I just kind of like just find that just meant to like it'd be cool to like just listen to into some like just anime classics or anime remixes. Also, because the Arcane season 2 trailer teaser just dropped yesterday, I just had to like also just share photos of the Arcane slash League cosplay meetup here. I was supposed to bring Evelyn to this event, but my wig didn't ship on time. It's like, okay, Evelyn, I will bring you to the next convention I go to, which will probably be LA Comic Con. But yeah, I was just very happy to see Arcane cosplayers and of course a lot of Jinxes. And this are some photos from our very small Evangelion gathering. So we had like a lot of Shinji, so this is like the Shinji crew here. And of course, there's just me as Misato. And it's very interesting because like during the convention, I ran into maybe 2 other Misato cosplayers who weren't aware of our cosplay meetup. And then we also ran into this awesome Rei cosplayer over here. And that was essentially our Evangelion gathering. It was small, but like we just started just nerding out over Eva, which made me happy because it's very rare I get to nerd out over things from my 90s era. And this is just how some of the how big some of the cosplay gatherings can be. So this is photographers interacting with the Spy Family cosplay gathering, and of course you'll have like the big shonen series getting a lot more attention and drawing a bigger crowd for photos. So you had like a huge meetups like Genshin, Spy Family, Chainsaw Man, One Piece, Demon Slayer, and so forth. And hey, there's the giant Totoro over there. I was having my lunch right by as the Demon Slayer cosplay meetup was going on, and one of the things I like about Anime Pasadena is that it's very family friendly. I seeing like a lot of families, moms and dads, parents and their children, just dressing up and just really enjoying their hobby, really enjoying the fandom together, whether they were all standing in line for the autographs or just cosplaying together. And I thought this was just really wholesome and cute, just seeing them like, oh, it's a Demon Slayer family group. So cute. Another thing that I also enjoyed about Anime Pasadena was I always go to the Maid Cafe. This is hosted by Dreamland, and my buddy MVS put in a reservation at 4:30, and we ended up just having a really cool show here by the maids. So for my order, I ended up just getting like a lemonade, some treats, and also like a Dreamland Maid Cafe souvenir keychain. And one of the things that I just really liked about this cafe is like they sang one of my favorite J-pop songs, "Stay with Me" by Miki Matsubara. And I was so happy because this is like the second time I was able to hear it at an anime con. Like I did it for karaoke at Northwest Idol Fest previously, but I'm still mad that that one karaoke place in Bellevue did not have "Stay with Me" by Miki Matsubara. But the maid here was singing like "Stay with Me." And my buddy MVS and I, we were just singing along to it because like, yeah, stay with me, da 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 da. Yeah, good song. It's one of my personal favorites to like sing along in the car. So ended up just really just enjoying the cafe, interacting with the maids. I like, despite the fact they all had like the same pink uniform, each of them kind of had their personality embedded like with their accessories. So one maid like had a Stella Lou plush on her made outfit. One maid had karopi ears, one had cinnamon roll ears. Like, I just like how they also were able to individualize themselves like through their outfits too. So if you have a chance, I highly recommend checking out Dreamland Maid Cafe. I like that they were in an enclosed space here. Over at Anime Las Vegas, they weren't really in an enclosed space, so you can also hear like some of the outside kind of noise. But I really like Dreamland Maid Cafe, and I think some of the better made experiences are when they are like in an enclosed space. So this is a lot of fun, and I like the snacks. They didn't have like curry like last time because like yeah, I could have my lunch here. I can enjoy curry, but I appreciate the snacks. I appreciated like yay, I can sit down after walking around in these booths. And yeah, that's me in the treats and me just enjoying that like looks like I had like that milk rose tea because I forgot what it was. It was delicious. I was just kind of like there just to relax and chill. And you have one of the maids here just kind of like just doing their dance. Notice that she has cat ears. It is awesome. It is cute. More maid stuff. And of course, I spent the rest of Saturdays checking out the Kaigai idols, or rather the overseas idols, doing their thing. There was Bubble Girl Experience. They were a lot of fun. This was my first time seeing them live. And then, of course, I stuck around for Iro Irodori Idols. My apologies if I just butchered the name, but the idol group that perform like Muse covers. I follow you guys. I'm blanking out. I know it's like Iro Idols, something or other idols. My apologies. But yeah, here's just me just kind of like hanging out with friends as like the idols were just about to go on stage. So there's me and my buddy Zeta. This is us with our we survived Seattle Seahawks fans looks because we were just going to the airport after Northwest Idol Fest and like okay, we're at SeaTac. We're from California. There's a lot of Seahawks fans here. This feels kind of scary. But guess what? We survived. And there's my son, Dusk, who's the Nozomi of her idol group. And yeah, I just really love seeing these people perform live and just seeing and hearing Muse songs again for like the first time in a while. And just seeing like the classic Love Live pleated skirt, that school uniform skirt. It's like, yes, memories, like the quarter of my mind. And there's my buddy Lucas. Yeah, Bubble Girls Idol Experience. They were really fun to watch. I'm a fan now, and I just really enjoy just seeing them perform live. And of course, this is Iro Idols, and again, they were all performing covers from Muse, and everyone in the audience was just so into it, and just hearing everyone just kind of like, yes, Cutie Panther, and like it was just a lot of fun, and like it also gave me flashbacks, like, oh yeah, I tried learning that dance, like I attempted that dance, I tried being in an idol group that wanted to learn that dance, and yeah, it was just brought back so many memories because like I'm a Muse girl at heart. Nico was my first best girl, and now it's Nozomi. And I have a Nozomi Ita bag for my laptop. But like yeah, they were just so fun to just see perform like both idol groups, Bubble Girls Experience and this group. They were just like really fun to just kind of see live and both groups were just such a delight to watch and it really gave Anime Pasadena like a lot of energy and watching the idol groups perform. I'm not saying this because I help run SoCal Idol Fest and I help run Northwest Idol Fest. I just feel like idol groups just really bring a lot of new life to anime conventions, especially anime conventions that kind of seem pretty cookie cutter and kind of want to copy paste programming from the previous year. But I really hope we see more of these groups perform at conventions because these are like this is like supporting your local band and like your local like your hometown heroes. And yeah, they might not be the exact like idols from Japan, but these are fans who put their heart and soul into performing, creating content, whether it's covers, whether it's just like original material. And it's just so fun to see these people just have fun on stage and perform live. So I always recommend people like, yeah, get out of your hotel room, maybe take a break from that cosplay photo shoot and just support your local Kaigai idols. And of course, I always like taking pictures of the giant Nestos. Maybe one day I'll have a giant Nesto. Maybe one day I'll have a giant Satsuna Yuki Nesto where my cat will make its cat bed. Who knows? And of course, winding down Saturdays, these are just folks just kind of like, yeah, like who needs an after party when you can just chill outside the Civic Auditorium, set up a bunch of stereos and dance. And with that said, we are on with a commercial break. So, my icon here was commissioned by Mirrorsol. I love their art. If you need to commission a PNG of yourself, an avatar yourself, backgrounds, this is the person to go to. Their rates are fairly affordable. I love supporting artists, especially Filipino artists. So if you need like something done, highly recommend commissioning Mirrorsol to get that done. And yeah, what can I say? Their artwork is just super cute. They were able to replicate this dress that my friend had made based on Sleeping Beauty. So like, yay, this is cute. They also did the artwork for our two associates, Rams and Jared the Greek. So Rams, he's in his Saint Seiya gear, and Jared the Greek, he's in his usual bowling shirt plus dad hat look. All right, Sunday. So yeah, walking out of my car back to the convention. And what I like about this location, again, I really like a lot of the architecture in Pasadena because, yeah, if you look at this architecture here, very beautiful. And when you walk inside, this is what it looks like. The Civic Auditorium is very beautiful, and this is where they had like a lot of the Q&A panels. So for like anything that was like voice actor related, anything that was reunion voice actor related, this was your panel room. And it's just so beautiful. Like, I just kind of wish that this is our stage for like the cosplay contest, or like if Cosplay Wrestling Federation was doing something at Anime Pasadena, that this would be like our main stage. I mean, it's just very beautiful, and it seats a lot, and there's like no line. There was like no like crazy line to just get into any of the main panels on the main stage. So that's like one of the pluses of Anime Pasadena and why this con is just so much loved by locals, because like the only major lines at this convention is getting an autograph from a voice actor, or like just getting in line to wait inside. And mostly people, it's like if they're smart, like, yeah, we don't really need to line up to get inside. Hence why I always roll up at 9:50, grab a drink, like, it's 10 o'clock, I'll just walk right in. And this is just some kind of giving an idea of what lines we're looking at, and just kind of like what voice actors were there. And like I said, one of the biggest things was the One Piece voice actor reunion. And these were just people just lining up. They had like those wagons of Funko Pops, DVDs. Voice actors were also selling prints. Prices could vary from voice actor to voice actor. I didn't get anything signed this year because I just wanted to save a little bit of money. But it was just really nice just kind of seeing like just fans just interacting with their favorites. And of course, I think this is the first time that Anime Pasadena had this, because I didn't see these guys last year. Maybe I was kind of blind. So JSA, you can also get your signatures signed by that, signatures authenticated by the JSA here. So like, yeah, if you plan to like just kind of have it as a keepsake, or if you plan to sell it, this can like say like, yeah, the signature is official. It is not a fake. And also you had karaoke. I didn't do karaoke this year because I just didn't have time. But it was just kind of cool to say, oh yeah, karaoke, and the list fills up really fast. It's like, yeah, this looks like it's gonna be like 2 hours before my turn, but like I'll let y'all have fun. Also, just perusing through the dealer's hall, I was happy to see like a classic retro like section selling like old school art books. And a lot of these looked like they were like secondhand, and they were going for a pretty hefty price. Like there was like this Fushigi Yugi character guide. It looks like it was under the Mysterious Play branding from Pioneer. I was very tempted to get a copy of it, but it looks like it was secondhand, and I wasn't going to pay $30 for something that was secondhand. And there's just like some of the art books in here, like, oh, like, yeah, I kind of want that Gundam Wing art book. I was like going for 70. I'm like, no, thank you. I mean, I'm happy with the manga art book that I have of Fushigi Yugi, which I've had since I was in high school. But like, yeah, some of these are just costing a little bit too much. I wouldn't have mind like just owning a couple of these if they were like at a lower price. I would gladly give them a good home, but like, too expensive. Of course, I stopped by LA Gundam Hobby again, and I love their phrase here. We put the damn in Gundam, or we put the damn in Gundam. And also on Sunday, they changed their polling to vote for your favorite mobile suit. And if you have a favorite mobile suit, just drop it in the comments. I'm just kind of curious to hear what is your favorite mobile suit. I'm sad that the RX-78 Granddaddy Gundam only got one vote. That made me sad. But I did see like this kiddo, the Gundam dudes were like selling an aerial to this kiddo. And then the mom was like, "Hey, you should like vote for the Gundam that you just bought today," and they voted for Ariel. And I wanted to get got pictures of the guys who are running the LA Gundam hobby booth because they were dressed from Mario, but they were dressed up like as beefcake versions of Mario and Luigi. But they looked like they were busy, and I didn't want to bother them because I did see them running around the convention. So imagine, you have this Gunpla hobby setup, and you have like these two beefcake Italian guys selling Gunpla. It was just like the most hilarious thing ever. And speaking of food and stuff, yeah, I ended up going to Okamoto Kitchen for both Saturday and Sunday. And of course I had to do like Miyaka loves food photo in front of the Okamoto Kitchen truck. Because like, yeah, 90s anime tropes, the anime character that will eat everything, and Miyaka is the epitome of that. So like I ended up just kind of getting a fries on Sunday because I just kind of just needed like an energy boost. I did have a salad. I did scarf down a salad like Miyaka on Sunday. Like, but sometimes you just kind of need that like energy boost so you can get through the day. And at around 4:30, it was around the time I had to start judging for the kids cosplay contest. So like, yeah, thanks Okamoto Kitchen for that extra energy boost. And also they were showing clips from their latest from their latest OAV original piece of animation at the truck, and one of the voice actors, Amelie, was also hanging out at the Okamoto Kitchen truck. Also, one of my favorite things at the convention was this gentleman named Santaku or Santa Goku. He was just running around with this giant backpack, and if you found him, he'll give away some random prizes. It reminded me of like this fan parody called Fanboy Soze. I'll probably drop the link in the comments so you can watch this gem that's Fanboy Soze. And there's a clip like at the beginning where they talk about the Dragon Ball Christmas special, and you have Goku singing singing head cha la 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 head cha la la because like, yeah, it's the Dragon Ball Christmas special. Yeah, y'all should check it out. But I ended up just getting like a free like your pin. I have it here with me. I don't know where to put it. Maybe I'll put it in my work lanyard because I love Yours my favorite anime characters of the current century. So I was just very happy, like, oh hey, this is kind of fun. This is different. And just more cosplayers, more cosplay vibes at Anime Pasadena. I really love this Princess Serenity here. Always happy to see Guts from Berserk. And of course, Gidetama, the deep pressed piece of egg. And of course, I ended up just checking out more idol concerts. So here we have Aquarius doing their thing. I always love watching Aquarius, and it's really cool just getting to know them more via social media. Because like I think one of the persons in Aquarius, like we just bonded over Taylor Swift, and like, oh my god, we got a cosplay as like from the Eras witches. That's a long story, but anyway, what I liked about this Aquarius performance specifically is they actually did an idol song in Tagalog. So as I was like judging the kids cosplay contest, like, wait, Sayao, that's dance in Tagalog. You guys are singing in Tagalog. Hell yeah, I am all about this energy. So I'm just very happy to see like a local idol group do songs in Tagalog because I'm just all about that life. And of course, just people just hanging out at the arcade. And also in Dragon Hall Z, you have like all these backgrounds that you can take selfies with. So you have like this whole like anime kind of mural just kind of being wrapped around of like just different like shonen anime here. And now it's time for the kids cosplay contest. So this was entry number 1. This was Denji from Chainsaw Man. I love how this photo came out. This was kind of unintentional, but like as I was just kind of like just writing my judging notes, the cosplayer just came right up to me and just kind of like just was all up in my face, like, oh my god. So yeah, I just really appreciate like the energy coming in from all the cosplayers who went on stage, because like yeah, being that young and maybe this is like your first cosplay contest, you might not like, okay, it's a big deal for you. You might not have had this experience before, but it was just so fun just kind of seeing everyone just go up on stage and just have fun with their characters and just be a character. And also, yeah, so there's just a couple of highlights here. So I really like this Team Rocket duo here. They did the whole speech. You had this Five Nights at Freddy's group here. The person in that like maid apron outfit thing, they de-stressed this thing they bought from Amazon themselves, and they added like all these like just little intricacies in it to make it something completely different from when they bought it. And also this person here, cosplaying from Chainsaw Man, this was their first project. Their dad also helped them like just build the helmet, and they were just showing me like just all the intricacies and just all the little details that made it in the final project. And I was just super impressed, like that's your first project, and that's just really awesome, just hearing like a father and child duo just work on like something together, work on a fandom piece together. And that just kind of like this warm feels in my heart. Just some other highlights. We got Beidou from Genshin. We got Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service. Gotta love Gigi over there. And also Jared the Greek's favorite character um, My Hero Academia over here. A couple other entries. So we have something from Fairy Tail. Again, more My Hero Academia. And we also have Vocaloid. And that just pretty much just wraps it up for Anime Pasadena. So we'll just go into final thoughts in a few. This is me just posing with Strawberry Sunday and Aquarius. I had some time after helping run and helping judge the Kids Cosplay Contest, just hang out a little bit and just chit chat, because like, yeah, I'm all about the Kai Guy idol life. And of course, life still continues even after during after hours. So even when I walked out of the hall at like 6 o'clock, there was still a party going on Sunday evening outside the Pasadena Convention Center. People were still doing photo shoots. People were still taking selfies, taking photos, just hanging out, just vibing to the music. So yeah, I was just really people still have a lot of energy. And plus, Sunday was also day 1 of the time change, so things got darker way earlier. Yeah, I was just very surprised to see just people just wanting to still hang out like during after hours. And you also had like photographers doing a lot of night shoots because they got all the filters out and got all the special lighting out. Like, dang, I wish I was just that high tech to get some like really some nice night shoots, which kind of had like I'll figure out maybe some sort of cosplay photographer hack to kind of get like some nice lighting for some really epic night shoots, because I have ideas that I want to do for Evelyn, but it's going to take some creativity and it's going to take some MacGyvering to do. But again, I always appreciate just kind of like just seeing the life after the convention is over. And this kind of just gives you an idea, like, yeah, people are just dancing to DJs that were just kind of plopped in various parts of the Civic Center. People are still taking photos. People were still hanging out. There was like this one group that was like interviewing cosplayers like for their YouTube channel, what it looked like. And they're just asking questions like, yeah, who would you go on a heist with? And like when I was kind of like eavesdropping on the question, like, yeah, I would totally go on a heist with Fujiko Mine, because like, yeah, black catsuit, redhead. And of course, this is what happened to the giant inflatable Pochita at the end of the day. That giant inflatable Pochita had to go to sleep in the bag. Good night, Pochita. And that pretty much wraps up Anime Pasadena. But before we go into our final thoughts and constructive critique, shout out to the Magic Candle Company. Magic Candle Company is where you can save 15% when you use our code EAT15 at checkout. Magic Candle Company, they're one of my favorite candle places. A lot of candles are based on theme parks. My favorite scent currently is the one that's based off of Port Orleans, simply called Orleans, and it is a scent of gardenias. So I not only I have it in candle form, but I also have it in room spray form. I also have their Avatar Flight of Passage scent as my car freshener, as my car scent. So it has that fresh scent, and it feels like I'm about to fly over Pandora as I'm pulling out of my driveway listening to music from Genshin Impact. And they also do wax melt. So right now I have their Tiki Wax warmer, and I have the Tower of Terror scent in that tiki warmer. So one of my favorite places to shop for scents and goods around the house. If you're looking for holiday gift ideas, highly recommend Magic Candle Company, and you too can save 15% when you use the code EAT15 at checkout. All right, let's get into the final thoughts section of convention tea. All right, so what did we think about Anime Pasadena? So, Anime Pasadena 2023. Of course, this convention wouldn't be what it is without the help of friends, the help of Kids Can Cosplay, and the help of my buddy Tyler. I didn't really talk about the panels that I was involved in, but I will say that I was involved in the cosplay myth panel, basically just busting myths about cosplay. So I did that with Kids Can Cosplay. It was a very insightful share of information about how to get into cosplay, why cosplay is so important to us, and also just kind of like just talking about like our favorite costumes, sources, how you can piece together like simple anime costumes, because anime costumes are most anime costumes kind of like call to real life clothes. Like, so like Shinji from Evangelion in his uniform, as you can see, it's like a white short sleeve shirt and pants. And it was just really fun just kind of talking about our cosplay origin stories, and getting people into cosplay, and just kind of like just busting myths about like, oh, cosplay is expensive. You need this much social media followers to get into cosplay. Yeah, you don't need all that. Like, you just need like just have fun and just go with it. And I was also in the diversity in media panel. I usually am a part of this for like for most conventions that Anime Pasadena puts upon. I was on this panel at Anime Las Vegas, and it's always a different vibe with every audience that we go with, and also a different vibe with every co-panelist that I'm with. So I actually got to talk about watching Crazy Rich Asians for the first time, because one of the questions was like, yeah, can you talk about a piece of media where you felt really seen? So just kind of just very light spoilers, because the memes have been going around a lot. There's two, well, particularly one pivotal scene said by Michelle Yeoh's character, "You are never enough," and that just hits me like arrows right into my chest. It's like, wow, I've never felt that like something just hard hitting towards me in cinema in a while. And I had to like to set up the story of how I ended up watching Crazy Rich Asians, because like for a while I just seemed kind of like jaded about it, and I just didn't really like being told like, yeah, it's the Asian Black Panther. I'm like, hi. Let me tell you about anime I watch. And also, yeah, no one wanted to watch it with me, and that made me sad. But however, I did have a white friend who was an amazing ally, who did show me like, okay, I'm gonna show you Crazy Rich Asians, and then like I was just ugly crying the whole time. And luckily I had a friend who was wearing Karate Kid pajamas. I was like, I'm gonna ugly cry into your Miyagi Do Karate Kid pajamas. Thank you, white friend. But I had a great time being a part of that panel, because I think like the discourse always changes within the different seasons. Last time, like one of the topics was like, what did you think about Disney's casting of the live action Little Mermaid? And this time we talked about the SAG aftra WGA strike, and so forth. So I thought that we had a lot of interesting conversations. And if you do have a chance, I highly recommend just checking out the diversity media panel, because I also talk about my experience as a queer anime fan, and also about like just kind of funkiness that is queer representation in anime. Because I had a really good conversation with a queer person after the panel, like, you know what, like in Utena, at least you're able to see them kiss, especially in a movie where they're a lot more affectionate. But like, you have something like Yuri on Ice that's like, okay, the kiss is implied, like, yeah, they're engaged, but like you don't see an on-screen kiss. And then you have the mess that is Witch from Mercury. It's like, okay, yeah, they're married, but we can't show them like exchanging I do's. But then again, the whole production of Witch from Mercury was a hot mess. So yeah. But anyway, that's just my personal experience. I had a great time judging the kids cosplay contest. I really like helping out at this convention, but however, I also had to kind of take off my helper hat and also just kind of like just kind of give my some of my constructive feedback. I do want to see like another track for panels at this convention. I really think this convention is growing and growing more, and I would like to see like open submissions for panels because I feel like in addition to having a One Piece like voice actor roundtable. You can invite my friend who runs the One Piece and social justice, connecting One Piece to social justice themes panel. You can invite our associate Jared the Greek, who does this whole like the hero's journey anime style, or like he can run his Gunpla panel because I feel like since Anime Pasadena last year and between Anime Vegas this year, sometimes I feel like the programming can be a bit too cookie cutter. It's like copy and paste from the year before, but I'm ready to also see like different types of programming at this convention so we can also give more people to just kind of like to spread out and do stuff. Of course, I'm never gonna like some of the thirsty photographers at this convention. I did the best what I could with my with my equipment to get some self shoots of myself, and I and just sometimes I just kind of feel like I just get very overwhelmed when it comes to cosplay fame or photographers that will only pay attention to cosplayers that have like 10,000 or more follows, and rather than like, hey, awesome costume, or like, hey, awesome vibe, can I get a photo? And for me, it's always going to be like, yeah, if you got a good vibe with you, I mean, if you look available to shoot, I will definitely get a photo of you because like, hi, I want to have an archive of convention history, and I want all types of cosplayers as part of that archive. So I think those are just my major constructive critiques with this convention. Otherwise, I like the location. I like the Pasadena Convention Center. Yeah, I know parking can be a pain, but I was mainly able to find my go-to parking for this convention, and it hasn't been an issue since I've been going to Anime Pasadena in since last year. The people are always fun to mingle with. I rolled this one solo, but of course, I ended up hanging out with my buddy Envious and just kind of like just running into friends the whole time. And this is like one of those conventions that, like, yeah, it's a good hangout convention with friends. If you want to just like, catch up, maybe share something at Okamoto Kitchen, maybe like just make some memories at the Maid Cafe, or just hang out and watch some idols perform, or maybe just hang out at the arcade. So I would say it's a really chill hangout con if you're considering Anime Pasadena. Um, Again, like if you also want to get some really nice cosplay photos, you can walk up the street to on the Pasadena City Hall to get some really beautiful cosplay photos. And like I was gonna do that, but I'm like, I don't really feel like walking around, and I was also really busy anyway with what I was with what I was doing. But otherwise, I really like this con, and if you're looking for a convention with a lot of good value, definitely pre-register. Definitely get your tickets early because $35 for what you get here is a pretty good deal, especially when you have like so many voice actors in one place. So definitely always keep up to date with the guests that are coming in, so you can also have like things ready to go and sign, and you can also get those signatures authenticated. It's like, yeah, this is an actual signature. No, it's not Roger Moore signing a photo of Sean Connery. So again, Emmy Pasadena, thank you so much for the opportunity to co-host panels and to judge the cosplay competition once again. I love helping out. So with that said, thank you so much for tuning in to another serving of convention tea. This has been your host, Dame Scarlett Aznable. And if you like our content, definitely subscribe to our Ko-Fi. Definitely check out to our Ko-Fi. And if you have not subscribed yet to our YouTube channel, definitely click that subscribe link. Hit the bell for notifications. Hit that like button. Comment. Engage with us. I like to know what you guys are thinking. What's the next convention you're going to? And remember, the con is what you make of it. So make it a good one. And we'll see you at the con.